From the guys that brought you The Boys, a show that criticizes superhero media and its effect on the world today. How huge companies cut back on artistry purely for monetary gain. These guys now bring you a spin-off to that show exclusively on Amazon Prime for $9 a month. Also guys, make sure to buy the Homelander toys and Homelander skin in Call of Duty. It's almost sad to think about what The Boys has become. Season 1 came out in a time when Avengers ended and people started throwing around the term superhero fatigue. Not only was The Boys the ultimate breath of fresh air, but it was actually really good. It was an intelligently written show that knew exactly what it wanted to be. Maybe not a direct representation of what would happen if people had superpowers, but a more grounded approach where the superheroes are aligned with the pretty aggressive branding of superhero media in real life. But then you watch season 2, and you're like, what the f? I think the problem with season 2 is that it started looking at The Boys as less of a criticism of superhero media and as more of a superhero show, I guess. They started to focus more on progressing the story and making the characters do things, and they got pretty reckless with the stakes at times. It basically just became dumber, and then in season 3 they said, fuck it! Let's give the boys superpowers, and now we can have superhero fights.
Oh, get stumped, bitch!
Yeah, they're fucking him up! Let's go fight back, nigga! Fight back!
Basically, what I'm trying to say is that The Boys is basically just Marvel now. Oh my god, guys, look at all these superheroes, and they're fighting! The truth is, guys, Gen V fucking sucks my ass and this is yet another Twilight Zone moment. But actually, I lied. The Twilight Zone moment actually only lasted 1 second. Because I understand why everyone likes this show. You see, when I first started growing up and maturing, I really started scrutinizing and appreciating storytelling. I fell in love with all different aspects of how something could be conveyed. I've come a pretty long way, guys. But it wasn't until generally recently that I realized that most people are dumb. Sometimes on videos, people tell me things like, dude, why don't you try enjoying things? You're such a miserable fuck. Let me ask you this question, guys. Who do you think cares more? Someone who critiques things or someone who just likes everything? A big part of the reason why I started reviewing things was the fact that I was able to articulate my feelings and really understand why I felt how I felt. Whereas the average dude can only say things like, oh well, this is fun, that's not fun, W, that's W. That's L, oh that's mid, overrated, oh that's masterpiece for sure. But don't get me wrong, some people actually can speak English. The fight scenes are amazing, the twists and turns are incredible. Sure, it's rather basic, but it has incredible moments like when Kate took control of Sherry and made her kill herself. And then there's Sam, who's the physical embodiment of purity, but will tear you apart like a savage animal, and his whole relationship with Enema is interesting. There are some bad moments, like Mary and Jordan isn't exactly a good match. I mean, more than half the time, Jordan gets mad at Mary for doing something they told her to do, or Jordan has some issues. Make up your damn mind! But Mary and Jordan's relationship aside, this show is just as gruesome as The Boys, and diabolical, and just as secretive as Vot's own stuff. That was a great review. And I actually want to take back everything I've ever said and restart, because this proves that the people are masterminds when it comes to this stuff. People genuinely fanboy over fucking One Punch Man. One of the most nothing shows I have ever watched. Not only are the directions this show goes in super uninteresting and not creative, everything about this show is so fucking telegraphed and obvious. It's negative writing skill. This is a show where after implying and showing information, characters will literally talk to themselves for no reason just to explain how they feel. Even in garbage stuff, the writers will put this blatant feelings exposition in like a conversation. You know, some guy said that One Punch Man was supposed to be bad, that it's a parody. And I thought about that. I've been on record saying that One Punch Man has less skilled writers. But honestly, I feel like you have to know what you're doing to make something this mundane.
You obliterated me. So much for the words of prophecies. You are just too strong.
When it comes to analyzing these dudes, the phrase, when does this get good, is very important. Because things should be good all around. And that's possible with something called good writing. For most of these casual dudes, watching TV shows is a hobby. Like, this is just something they do. They just sit down and watch shows for hours. And a lot of these shows that are praised as masterpieces just don't have good writing, or more specifically, good character writing. Because with these lesser shows, it takes time to get into them, which is why these people have probably become super accustomed with bland writing to where they've now developed this ability to get invested in characters when the writing isn't even there. So listen, I do think that Gen V is blatantly Disney Plus, which weakens the validity of the messages within The Boys. I think having a superhero college is just so fucking stupid, and it makes the universe seem way smaller. Like, wow guys, Adrian and the Deep went to this college, but not Starlight. Starlight didn't have to go because it's like fuck. The reason Gen V sucks is simply because it has insanely shitty writing. The characters are ass. They have some of the most forced, telegraphed plot lines I have ever seen. And listen, I have to cut some slack to the writers. The actors are fucking terrible. If you're just incapable of giving a convincing performance, even the greatest dialogue of all time is gonna sound like fucking dog shit.
Is that what you think of me? That I'm just gonna tell Shetty everything?
You tell me, Kate. You're the one in my fucking head.
Gen V is just the opposite of natural. Ideally, you want the show to feel like the plot is a result of the actions of the characters. But in Gen V, it just feels like the plot forces each character through their specific plot points and character arcs. The show constantly shows us the same character plot points over and over and over again without expanding on them ever. Mary is basically just a super boring, uninspired version of Starlight. They both basically explore the same ideas within their character arc, but Starlight is actually well written. Her journey is a lot more nuanced. They don't just repeat the same concepts, they expand on them and explore them from different angles. Starlight also feels like an actual human being and not some robot being told what to do.
Stop it! Kate, you don't need to do this. We have Newman. She's gonna stop her.
Yo, this reminds you of the time your parents died because blood. So cry, please.
Kate, please. Please. You have to let me save her.
Okay, thank you. Oh my god, guys, but it's over because tragic means better. I'm sorry, guys. I should have listened to the genius Redditors. Gen V honestly feels like it was written by an AI. And this is the shit that people love. There's actually also this part where a character named Shitty makes a superhero virus and she wants to wipe out all superheroes. And basically, the community is in disagreement about this. So that's how you know a show is good. And then the comments, somebody was like, this is Attack on Titan all over again. So Attack on Titan is one of the most beloved animes. And that's how you know it's good, because the people who love it also love Gen V. The show's fucking terrible. I would say if it's like a 13-year-old wrote it, but, you know. Invincible's next once he's done getting fucking pegged by Thanos in the goddamn multiverse. Nice job, guys.